For our purposes, let's assume a player is not under a multi-year contract and instead will play on a series of one-year contracts until he reaches free agency. The potential salary for each year depends on the amount of Major League service time a player accumulates. 1 year of service equals 172 days on a Major League roster. Days count if he's active or on the Major League injured list. 172 days is not quite a full season on the roster. For example, there will be 186 days in the 2024 season. A player is eligible for salary arbitration when he has accumulated at least 3 years and less than 6 years of Major League service time. Players can be eligible for arbitration with 2 years of service if they're in the top 22% of eligible players with 2 years. These are called Super 2s. There are a few smaller roster-related details to eligibility that we don't need to get into here. Teams control the first 6 years of a player's big league career. A player is then eligible for free agency when he ends a season with 6 years of service. A player's salary for his first 3 full seasons, or up until he's Super 2 eligible, is at the team's discretion, bound by the league minimum, which will be $740,000 in 2024, and some other rules around maximum salary cuts. The remaining years leading up to free agency are determined by this arbitration process. There are 3 crucial offseason dates related to arbitration: the tender deadline, the exchange deadline, and the scheduled date of a hearing should it come to that. The tender deadline is when teams need to decide whether they will tender a contract to players who are not currently under one. This offseason, that deadline was November 17th. Non-tendered players immediately become free agents. Tendered players who are arbitration eligible will negotiate a contract settlement with the team. If they cannot reach an agreement, they will go to a hearing. Most contracts settle by the exchange date. This year, that was January 11th. If they don't settle on that day, the 2 parties exchange salary figures. They can still negotiate right up until the start of their hearing. If they go to a hearing, a 3-person arbitration panel will award the player one and only one of those 2 figures. They cannot choose a number between the salaries submitted by the club or the player. Hopefully this gives you a good foundation to understand the basics of baseball's salary arbitration.